Hi, January 1st Diet Betters. I typically do live Q&A, but I've been sick with a respiratory infection, and so I'm going to try to edit out all of my coughing and answer all of your questions this way in lieu of a live. And I will do a live with you guys when I start feeling better. Okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, let me go ahead and start answering your questions that you asked in the feed. Heather asks, what do you suggest to track your calories? MyFitnessPal is a fantastic one. And then Lose It is also another one that I recommend. I used to recommend LifeSum as well. Some people love it, some people don't. Really, here's what I tell people, what I tell all of my clients. Use the app that you will most likely use. So if you find that Lose It is the easiest one for you, use that one, because you want to break down any barriers you have to tracking your calories. If you find that writing it down in a journal, well, then do that. So do what works for you, because you want to be as consistent as possible with tracking your calories so that you know that you're in a calorie deficit. We don't want to guess that we're in a calorie deficit. We want to know that we are. So measuring it is vital and important to when we begin our weight loss journey. Jessica says, do you include your calories burned from a workout in your calorie deficit number, or do you leave it at the same number despite your calorie burn from your workout that day? So this is also, the answer to this is really kind of dependent on you. It kind of depends on how much you're working out. I don't recommend when beginning a new weight loss journey that we go really hard, really, too hard, too soon kind of thing. Because we don't want to end up being burnt out and, all or nothing thinking kind of thing. So, but if you have been working out already and you're continuing to work out, and you would like to add back those calories, you can. Keep in mind that most machines overestimate the calories burned. So I probably wouldn't add back all of the calories, maybe half the calories back. When I was personally in my own weight loss journey, I can tell everybody here that entire first year, probably really 9 months to about a year, I did not work out at all. And I only solely focused on diet and getting that right, getting mind shift and meal shift and micro habits right. I didn't include the muscle building until almost an entire year in. And when I did include muscle building, I did not add back those calories. I counted those extra calories burned as bonus to my calorie deficit. Donna says, what is your advice on eating frequency and intermittent fasting for weight loss? Okay, great question, Donna. So say we have two people, and both people have a calorie deficit of 1,600. That's their deficit that they've calculated. If one person eats 2 meals a day and gets in 1,600 calories, so they're within their calorie deficit, they're going to lose weight. If another person eats 6 meals and gets in exactly their 1,600 calories, they're also going to lose weight. So it really doesn't matter. Meal frequency doesn't matter. That's up to you and how you feel, when you're hungry. Intermittent fasting, same thing. I would say the same exact thing. We don't have to make this, complicated. The thing is that I want your diet to be the you diet, right? When you go to the bookstore, you're going to see 1,000 diet books on the shelf. But what you're not going to see is the Donna diet or the Jessica diet or the Heather diet, right? So you have to do things that are sustainable for you. If intermittent fasting helps you backload your calories for the day and that works for you and it's sustainable for you, by all means, great, do that. If that's something that you don't think you could do for the rest of your life, because by sustainable, I mean the rest of your life. If it's something you don't think you can do for the rest of your life, then, really think about that and think, how can I make this sustainable for me? If eating 2 meals a day is sustainable for the rest of your life, do that. If you really, if personally, I like to eat kind of my hunger spikes around like 2 o'clock all the way to like 8 o'clock. That's when I'm the most hungry throughout the day. I'm really not hungry right when I wake up. So I don't eat breakfast a lot of times. Sometimes I do. If I'm hungry, I'll eat it. If I'm not, I don't. So I really think about intuitively, am I actually hungry when I eat? And so when it comes to intermittent fasting and meal frequency, that's up to you, because it has to be the you diet, and it has to be, you're always going to ask yourself, is this sustainable? Is this something I can do for the rest of my life? Becky says, what is the biggest pitfalls you or your clients have experienced when calculating calorie goal and tracking foods? Pitfalls clients have experienced when calculating calorie goal and tracking foods. Okay, so I think a pitfall that a lot of people fall into is that people aren't as accurate as they say they're going to be. In other words, if you're drinking your coffee and you're like, oh, that's about a tablespoon. Nope. Get your measuring tablespoon out and actually measure what is an actual tablespoon of coffee creamer and track it. If you take a bite off of somebody else's plate, or you're cooking, and as you're cooking, you're eating, you better track those calories. So those little things like that add up, and it can take you completely out of your calorie deficit. So that's a pitfall that I find, some people are like, I know I'm in my calorie deficit, but well, let's really look at it and let's be as accurate as possible. Don't guess whether or not you're eating 4 ounces of chicken. Measure it. Really go and look and see. Get yourself a food scale. If you don't have a food scale, get yourself a food scale. Start measuring your food. And what you will learn from measuring your food is, well, immeasurable, because you'll start to really know what does 4 ounces of fish and chicken and beef and all of that look like. Beth says, would love any nutrition and exercise tips, advice for someone with a very limited funds and time. Medical student seeking guidance. Awesome. Yay. Okay. So limited funds. So here's the deal. Sometimes y'all, groceries are expensive right now. We are all in that suffering boat of groceries are stupid expensive right now. And so many times I'll take myself to Aldi or Walmart to get my my vegetables or my proteins or those kind of things. Kind of really make meals spread out. Like a bag of slaw is very, a bag of slaw is not too expensive, and that can spread out amongst, 4 to 6 meals. And then buy those bulk proteins that you can spread out amongst several meals. You know what I'll do? I will make a point to really think about this one, because that's such a great question, especially right now, and see what I can do to post some meals and kind of a breakdown of how we can save money at the same time, because that is a great question. But really, where you shop makes a big difference. And so I shop at Aldi, I shop at Walmart, because guys, we're all trying to save money right now. We have Allison C. Non-digital scales are okay. Yeah, non-digital scales are fine. And I'm assuming you're talking about a food scale, or maybe the scale that you weigh yourself on. Doesn't matter if it's digital or non-digital. As long as it's accurate, that's what matters. I was curious, Amanda says, I was curious about how to calculate how much protein I need in a day. Protein, a general easy calculation is 1 gram of protein per goal weight. So say you have a 200-pound person and the goal weight is 160 pounds. So your protein goal would be 160 grams, 1 gram of protein per goal weight. So you would try to eat 160 grams of protein per day. And that's just a general easy calculation to do as far as protein goes. Cabrina. Due to medicine, I have a decreased appetite, so I only eat 3 meals a day. I never meet my calorie goal. So I have my deficit plus usually like 300 to 500 calories a day. Is this bad or is it okay? I'm a little confused about the question. You said you don't meet your calorie goal. Are you saying you're not meeting your calorie deficit? But then you also say you usually have an extra 300 to 500 calories per day. If you're eating over your calorie deficit, 300 to 500 calories per day, yes, you're not going to be as successful at weight loss for sure, because we have to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose fat. Candace, I am a new mom and went from working full-time to stay at home. I am with Betsy on the limited funds advice. So Candace and Beth and everyone out there who's trying to save money, because we all are. I think that's great questions. I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind for future videos for sure. Easy lunches to bring to work. So some of my low calorie lunch prep ideas that I've had in the past are like literally you take a bag of frozen wontons, put it in a lunch container, take some frozen veggies, put that in a lunch container, don't put the sauce on it, put the lid on. I microwave mine at work. Once it's hot, I put the sauce on. Easy to do. I just had to put it in a container. That's it. Other really easy ways to do things is like the Amy Lou burgers that I buy from Costco, or the low calorie burger patties already made that I buy from Trader Joe's. You can buy them from whatever grocery store. Just look at your macros on the back. Put one of those in a lunch container with all the things like the lettuce, the tomato, like you're going to make a burger, right? Put all of that in a lunch container. Take your bag of low-calorie buns. I buy Keto Culture. They're 50 calories for the entire bun. Take that to work with you. Grab your lettuce, put it on your bun at work, then microwave your, burger. Put that in. Easy. Really easy way to bring lunch to work and have it low-calorie. Salads, man, I love salads. So I always have a box of spring mix in my refrigerator with carrot sticks and grape tomatoes, cucumber, throw that all in, bring some salad dressing with me to work, throw some protein on it, and you're good to go. How is the prize given out to multiple winners divided by the total post? It looks like Joni C kind of answered that underneath you. It says within a couple days after the diet bet ends, if you've met your goal and you win, you'll be notified what your winnings are. They stay in your diet bet account until you request a payout. Multiple winners split the pot, less the admin fees. That is true. At a minimum, you get back your $35. Yeah, typically anywhere from $10 to $30 is typically what is paid out to winners. I can't be exact on that number. I can also tell you that typically of the participants in a diet bet, 50% of the participants meet the goal, 50% don't. I'm not trying to be negative here. That's just the statistics that Way Better gives me on how participants do in the diet bet. But I'm thinking we're going to be better than that. And I'm hoping we're going to have a ton of winners in this January 1st diet bet, because we're all ready and we're ready for this to begin this new year, right? I would like to understand the deficit better. I had a stroke in April, stopped smoking, and put on 35 pounds. Well, congratulations to stopping smoking. That's amazing. I need better food choices. So Michelle, I think that the first challenge, the meal shift challenge, everybody posting their meals and their calories. I think that's really helpful because, man, it gives me some great ideas. I know every single time that I do these challenges, people post their meals and they look so delicious. And I'm like, man, why didn't I think of that? So stay tuned, check out the feed, and we're all going to be posting our meals and our calories. Krista, I admit I'm overwhelmed with tracking, measuring, and weighing everything I eat. Then make sure I stay within my macros. I can't seem to stay within my range. Can you simplify it for me? Here's the deal. I have never, ever tracked all of my macros. I think that's just overcomplicating things. Your macros are your calories. Your fats, carbs, and proteins, they add up to your calories. So here's the deal. When I lost 70 pounds, I only tracked my calories, and that's it, because that's what you have to do to be successful. It doesn't have to be, if you are somebody who loves data and spreadsheets and that kind of thing, and you're like, no, but I will really want to track my macros. Well, then, okay, do that, because let me go back to that whole thing of this is the you diet. What's sustainable to you? If you think tracking all of your macros is sustainable to you, great, do it. If that seems overwhelming to you, well, then don't do it and just track your calories. Just track one number instead of 4. So again, always ask yourself, always go back to that question. What's sustainable for me? What can I do? New menopause mama here. Is it true your metabolism shift throws you for a loop? Are there any dietary pearls for menopausal women? Okay, so I've had several clients who are either in perimenopause or have gone through menopause or all of those things. Menopause will lower your estrogen and your progesterone. So what that does is that in turn, basically for women, has us gain mostly midsection fat is where that ends up, because our hormones regulate our leptin. Our leptin and our ghrelin are also regulated. Those are also hormones that help regulate your hunger. What I can tell you is one of the best things you can do to help your hormones and level out your hormones in perimenopause or menopause is sleep. I know that sounds like a crazy, like, really? That's it? Sleep? Yes, sleep. So if you're not getting quality and quantity sleep, your hormones are going to be thrown off even more. And we want to regulate our hormones as the best possible way so that we can fight against all the extra hunger that we might feel or those kind of be due to menopause. And the best way to do that is to get quantity and quality sleep. So start working on putting that phone away instead of laying in bed, looking at that phone right before you fall asleep. That's not great for sleep. Start making sure your room is nice and dark. Go to bed at a decent hour, and just getting enough sleep. Amanda says, I am interested in learning more about the calorie deficit. I would be interested in the amount of each macro and calories I should be eating in a day based off of my body information. So Amanda, I posted a link on how to calculate your calorie deficit in the, it's pinned at the top of this app of our diet bet. So you can go check that out. In tdeecalculator.net, it will also give you your macros. However, those are your maintenance macros, not your calorie deficit macros. Because remember, in the video, I tell you on your calorie deficit, when you go to tdeecalculator.net, you have to subtract 500 in order to get your calorie deficit. So then you would have to do the math on the macros in order to make sure that they add up to your calorie deficit. There is 4 grams of carbs, 9 of fat, and 4 of protein. So you'd have to do the math on that. Campy. Hi, Campy. You were in my last diet bet. I'm almost certain of that. Any advice to help get over a plateau? Been super consistent in tracking 3 to 4 workouts a week and 10,000 steps minimum a day. been in a calorie deficit 3 months, stuck at a current weight. Okay, so our body does this. When you lose weight, your body, it's never linear. You're never going to lose weight like this. We're always going to lose weight like this, and it's going to look actually more like a stair step, right? And I want you to think about, like, we're going to lose weight, and then you're going to plateau. And then you're going to lose weight, and then you're going to plateau. Here's the thing. It's what you do during a plateau that matters most on being successful at getting to your goal weight. Because during a plateau is when people decide, that's it, I give up, it's not working. And this is where the mind shift has to really come in. You have to tell yourself every day, I'm going to stay the course. I am going to continue doing what I'm doing, because your body has to readjust to your new normal. Your new weight is your new normal. Your body has to readjust to it. And sometimes that takes 3 to 4 months to do. And I know that's not the news you wanted to hear. And I will tell you that I have had clients that have lost weight, been in a plateau 3 to 4 months. Keep the course, and then they will start dropping weight again. You sound like you're already getting in 10,000 steps a day. If you want to get in a few thousand more a day, just the steps part, not the working out, then you could do that. Or, because I wouldn't do too much too soon, or make sure that when you are doing weightlifting, you are having progressive load with your weights. Make sure they're heavy enough so that you're building muscle, because the more muscle you build, the more calories you're going to burn at rest. Susan, I leave for vacation the morning of 1/28. Can I post my final weight the night before or early that morning? Yeah, I believe they give you a 48-hour window to post your weight. You can also always email support@waybetter.com to ask them, and they will tell you. Just so everybody here knows, I never see any of y'all's weigh-in photos. I don't see your beginning weigh-in photo. I don't see your end weigh-in photo. That's Way Better who does that. I'm here to act as the host of this diet bet, and that's pretty much it. That's my job. And encourage weight loss, give tips, and give support. Any ideas for breakfast? Susan, yay. Well, I'm so glad I posted my egg muffin recipe this morning, and I will be sure to post a few more. What app do we use to track our calories? Susan, I answered that just a sec. I think that was the first question I answered. Vicky, I am also interested in calculating my calorie deficit. Go to that video that I've linked in the diet bet. Tina says, I have not worked out in ages. I'm 55, have a desk job. I know I need to start moving my body more. What are some simple strength exercises I can do to get started? Here's the deal. I do have a 10-week workout plan in my PayHip store. It's payhip.com/formfit. If you don't have to buy that. It's totally up to you. But when you start strength training, when I started strength training, I did my workouts in my garage with a mat and some dumbbells. And I started with 5-pound dumbbells. I picked a body part, and I put my phone on a EMOM timer, and I would do a 20-minute workout. Because why was it 20 minutes? Because I thought, I can't say no to a 20-minute workout. 30 minutes, that seemed a little too long for me. It seemed not sustainable to me, because I always ask myself, is it sustainable? Can I always do this? I can always do a 20-minute workout. So several times, not every day, but several times a week. So I would pick maybe 4 exercises or 5 exercises, and I would do 1 minute of each of the exercises, and then do that 4 rounds, and that would be equal to 20 minutes. So it might look like bicep curls, it might look like lateral raises, it might look like overhead press. So just pick those 5 exercises, pick a weight that is conducive to you, set your phone on a timer, and get started. That's really the hardest part, is just getting yourself started. Stella, I've been calculating my macros for a few months and I've been adjusting them. I found that I can't eat all of my macros and not be hungry. Can I adjust them more or use the new calorie deficit that I made? So here's Stella. One thing I would recommend for you is making sure you're getting in enough protein, because of all of the macros, proteins, carbs, and fats. Protein is the one that is going to keep you the most satiated. So you'll want to make sure that you're getting in enough protein. So if you are going to adjust your macros, I would increase your protein first before adjusting anything else. I hope I answered all of your questions, and I look forward to doing a live Q&A with you guys when I start feeling better, and I hope you guys have a fantastic new year, and this is going to be an amazing diet bet, and I wish everyone success with their weight loss starting here.